On our first 2018 episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic, we talk about Oprah. Should she run for president? We talk about the H&amp ad. We talk about Dr. Umar and Tariq Nasheed and a whole lot more, all that and more on this episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic.
First of all, let me tell you something. Lamont is just full of
Sometimes my mama said, when you don't have nothing nice to say, you should be quiet.
People say that Stephen A. is a coon. You agree with that? Everybody got quiet on that one? Okay. Go ahead.
Rudy Giuliani practices voodoo. So he put a voodoo hex on my girl, Hillary, and that's why she got woozy. And the Secret Service had to prop her up and put her in the van.
But take us to a break, my dude.
It was voodoo, son.
I don't know about that voodoo.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Three Black Guys with a Mic. Well, let's get it started. Welcome to 2018. We are in this joint for 2018. Back in full effect. Welcome to the 2018 version episodes of Three Black Guys with the Mic. Spud is here, Lamont is here, Maynard is here. So much to catch up on. We've been gone for the last 2 weeks. Got a couple emails, family members like, dang, when y'all coming back? Well, we back.
Right. I got hit today. Like, are y'all gonna have something tomorrow?
Right.
Or what?
Jeez, Manish. Well,
Yo, the love is good. The love is good.
You know, good Lord. Well, I mean, the love is good except for one of our fans.
Ooh.
Here we go.
Who, pray tell, might you be speaking of, sir?
I mean, one of our fans ain't feeling us, boy, said that we are three black racists. How do we become racist?
Oh, man. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. I tell you what. Deborah Blake is a fan, a new fan, and I invited her, although she thinks that we're racist. I think the first thing she said was something pretty ugly about us when she shared it. But again, you guys can attest, I sent her a very nice message on Facebook that thank you for the share. Our advertisers appreciate it, and we hope that out of our 50 plus episodes, Deborah, you might find some things. And I was concerned because Deborah seemed a little bit disappointed, and so I went to her page, and Deborah Blake also has a DeborahBlake.com page.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Deborah Blake, people please go to DeborahBlake.com because Deborah Blake is in a band and she's available. She has an EP and she's available for booking if you contact her at 619-729-4272.
Wait.
Maynard, wait. That's what, Maynard, did you cut a deal, bro?
Right.
Like, did she send you? you getting the 20% fine? What's going on here?
No, I'm just.
I didn't know we was
promoing. First of all, Deborah Blake called us three black racists,
She said this is an example. Now she was talking about Professor Jason Nichols, who was recently back on Tucker Carlson, and he was on Tucker Carlson before, and then a lady called his office because he is a professor. He's at Morgan State.
No, he's at University of Maryland.
Okay, he's at University of Maryland, and so we did an interview with him. And talking about the racism and so forth and so on. And thank you so very much, Deborah, for listening to our podcast. And for all those who disagree with us and think that, we are just one-sided. But she said this is an example of the problem with the adoption of a victim mentality and groupthink and how is dividing our diverse nation. The new face of racism in America are individual like these three black guys.
So I'm not suggesting that any of our fans. So first of all, I wouldn't want anyone to harass Deborah. But if you needed music, if you wanted her to perform somewhere, you should go to our website and look up her phone number. One more time. Let me see about her phone number here.
What are you giving? Now, wait a minute. Back up. Don't give her phone number out because I don't want her to be trying to sue us now.
Her phone number's on the internet. It's her phone number is available. So if people want her,
Well, she
want to
already
book
called
her,
us a racist. We don't want. We don't want for
we're
her
trying to
you
send
know-
her some business. We trying to send her some business. So you can reach her at 619-729-4272 and tell her that three black guys with the mic center.
Maynard, let's back up off Deborah, bro. Come on. I just sent a text to our attorney. Let's just back up off of her.
We're just trying to make sure
cool
that Deborah's business flourishes in 2018.
I got you.
That's all. I mean, you know.
Okay. God bless Deborah. I mean, Deborah does, you know, she does have an opinion. And, you know, although it's totally wrong, if she looked up the pure definition of the word racist, is that's something that, you know, definitely the three black guys on these particular mics, we don't possess that. You know what I mean? So you just have to understand your audience. And again, thank Deborah for listening and paying attention. And we're going to get her some new fans, man, and we're going to move on.
And I'm just curious to where in that episode would Deborah think that we would be the racist here? When someone called our guest and called him a racist and went off on him. I don't know where you would have gotten anything that we are the racist here.
If you play any piece of that voicemail that person left Professor Nichols on his phone, on his work phone, it's first of all, it's I think the two messages combined are something like 9 minutes of racial tirade. The number of times that this woman called him the N-word, it's probably 60 times in 9 minutes. Like Richard Pryor in his heyday couldn't touch 60 times using the N-word in 9 minutes. I mean, even though, remember Bernie Mac said, white people don't be afraid of black people. You might hear the word N-word 35 times.
Right.
He said 35. She almost doubled that. So I don't know, man. I don't know what Deborah Blake was thinking, but that's okay. Deborah, we love you. Come on back. Listen to Three Black Guys with a Mic. In fact, if you since you can reach out to us if you want to come on the show, man. We love to hear why you think we're racist.
Yep.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Did you say nah?
Nah. I was just messing with you, Deborah.
No, Deborah's all good.
No, I ain't got no problems with Deborah at all.
Not at all.
So, since the last time we've talked, it was Christmas. I wanted to, ask Lamont, what did Santa Claus bring you for Christmas, man? What did Santa Claus leave under your tree?
Well, Santa Claus didn't leave me anything. But I did have a good Christmas. I can't front. I got quite a few things that I asked for. And actually, I bought myself something that I wanted for Christmas since I was a part of that deciphered exhibit in the Detroit Institute of Arts. They had like a book that I guess came with the exhibit. Mm-hmm. And, I got to see myself in book form. And I was looking pretty good that day. You know what I'm saying? But Santa Claus, he didn't bring me anything because Santa Claus still isn't real. He wasn't real before. He still isn't real now. So, but Christmas overall, still it was pretty good. I can't front, not at all.
Maynard?
And Maynard. So what did you tell your beautiful daughter? Did you tell her that Santa Claus brought her something for Christmas?
Yeah, absolutely. Santa brought all them gifts.
What you say? Absolutely. That's so right. so in the Scales household, we stay with the lie, right?
But I'll say this and listen, and I'm only going to say this if Lamont promises to let us leave this topic in at least 30 seconds or less.
And
okay,
we leave this topic in 2017.
Right.
But you brought it up. But I did not bring it up. That wasn't me.
Spud, you did bring it up.
Well, I had to ask. We haven't talked to each other in 2 weeks, so I had to ask if how many cookies did he leave out for Santa Claus? And did Santa Claus, bring him some good gifts?
My daughter turns 9 in July. On that birthday, I'm gonna tell her, like, yo, this is how it goes down. If any of the kids at school don't already bust her bubble, I'm gonna go ahead and let her know this July on her birthday, or I think we're supposed to be doing a London trip, and maybe I'll tell her when we do that trip.
Okay.
So are you going to wrap in like the Easter Bunny and the what's the fairy?
Fairy, all that. Yeah, it's all going down.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool.
All right. So
All right.
let me just ask this question too, and then we'll move on.
No, but what about your household, Spud? You didn't tell.
We had a
What
great.
about your household?
We had a great Christmas. No
I mean,
complaints over here. You know, Santa Claus was good to us. No complaints over here, man. I got me a new drone. I'm flying it all over the neighborhood, hoping the police don't come and knock on my door. You know, life is great. No complaints. No complaints. No complaints. Celebrated my birthday. Went skiing. No complaints at all.
Where'd you go skiing?
We went up north, Boeing Mountain, Charlevoix. So, you know, did a little skiing. I wasn't on the bunny hills neither. I'm past the bunny hills. I just wanted to say I'm past the bunny hills at any rate. So this is the third Cardi B smash. Is anybody ready to give Cardi B some props? Lamont, I'm starting with you. Can we give Cardi B some props?
Wait. When we say smash, where are we going right now? Because I did get on the motorsport train. I did come late on the Bodak Yellow. I was on the G-Eazy record. What are we talking about now?
Oh, come on. Cardi B ain't got a new smash with Bruno Mars Finesse?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Let's be very clear, and I don't know what episode it was. Maybe it was one of our, offline podcast conversations, but I am not a fan of the thief that they call Bruno Mars.
What's Bruno Mars a thief?
Bruno Mars has been and always will be a thief. He's a thief in the night. Every major Bruno Mars record that has came out that has had success has been borrowed upon from some of our historical music that we may have had in the 80s or maybe mid-late 80s and maybe early 90s. That's what he does.
First of all, I guess, but what we do know is whose records he's not working. But
Clearly.
we know that you're not getting a Bruno Mars check right now. Is that right?
And matter of fact, we've talked about this because I've had some. No, it's okay. We've had some social media interaction of me being so hard on Bruno Mars, but he's a thief. I mean, yeah, but that record, I'm good.
Who is performing the music that you're saying he's stealing? Now, look, what I'm suggesting here is this: he's doing something that you said was like a late 80s through 90s ripoff of the R&B. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes. And, okay. Let's take the last record he had.
Mm-hmm.
To jump in my Cadillac, whatever he was saying, and he even mentioned it in an article, is that he took that from The Time, Morris Day and The Time.
Okay. But who's doing that?
He said it.
But who is doing that music? Like where is that 80s, 90s, or the 70s or 60s or any of the R&B music that came before and laid the foundation? Who's doing it? Because today,
well, Bruno's doing it. You just said it. I just told you he stole it. He's doing it now.
But who else is doing it? Because today I'm driving down the street and I'm listening to my XM satellite, and the song I haven't heard in a little while, and I don't particularly like this song, came on. It's called Privacy. It's by Chris Brown. And the lyrics wind up saying something about bend over and let me do something to you, and I, and I'm gonna do this, and you gonna do that, and I'm like, yo, I don't remember Luther Vandross dropping those lines before. I mean, I'm looking for the friskiness. I'm looking for the frisky. Freddie Jackson was like, saying things like "rock you tonight."
Yeah, that's a bad example.
Yeah, that's very bad. See, Maynard, when you were growing up, and we'll just
Teddy Bear, but do you want to go into the privacy lyrics? I mean,
no, but Maynard. When you were a child, you had an encyclopedia, right, in your home?
Certainly, I did.
Most kids today, they have like some sort of Android or iPhone device in their pocket. That's like the norm. So if it's used properly, it can be the equivalent of what an encyclopedia is. So I'm saying that to say is that unfortunately, the kids are a little bit more advanced in their raciness, in their technology, and they just progress a little bit faster. So you're exactly correct. Chris Brown had one song where he was talking about making a girl pee in the bed. Now, I'm almost 50 years old, and I'm still trying to figure out what are you going to do to a woman to make her pee in the bed? I don't want to be around somebody that's pissing in the bed. I'm good on that.
Lamar, I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you about that offline.
Okay. No. We're not peeing enough. No, peeing is not my thing, bro.
Hold on. Let me read this to you. Ain't nobody here but you and me licking your private parts. I know you love your privacy. What? How crass is this? This is crass.
Yeah, but that's.
But someone would argue
and listen.
That's what we at right now.
No,
because you know what? Because Cardi B is telling the other girls.
Then we have lost. And when these things happen, when we are off in this position, it just makes room for somebody who comes in with something classier to steal the show. It makes it.
Class is gone because Spud is praising Cardi B. So the class is gone. If that's all we have to praise is Cardi B.
You know, where's that On the Ocean record from K-John? We need another one of them joints. We need something. Whoa. We need some good, clean.
Wait, Lamont wrote that record.
Yeah, I did. I got
that was a nuts
record.
Like that one too. I need to dust that off. Yeah, put that on the wall.
Was a Nutso Fabuloso record, man. That record was Nutso Dope. So I mean, we know that record, and when people hear this song, for instance, like I said, On the Ocean by Out on the Ocean by K-John, it did amazing. Why? It was good music. He didn't have to mention sex or licking your private parts or you bend over. None of that. It was just a nice love song. I felt comfortable with that song playing with my daughter in the car. I mean, why can't we have more of that? Because it did very well.
Was on the wrong channel. Listen, Kirk Franklin has a channel on XM. It's a jazz channel. I think you're just on the wrong channel, bro.
Yeah, but,
you can't be on Shake 45 trying to get the clean records with the beautiful baby in the car, bro. That's not gonna happen.
I think I was on Heat or Fly. I was on Shade 4 or 5 though. But still, I'm like,
it's close enough. You can't do that.
I'm like, what is the deal for real, my man? What?
Yep. But you're right. I mean, the lyrics and a lot of the songs that the love, the caring, that kind of energy, that's over. You know what I'm saying? And there are some records that are trying to get to that, but we don't. And because we figured out that our ice is not as cold, so that's why we do that.
Can we leave that in 2017? We gotta leave that in 2017, Lamont.
No. See, that's what's wrong.
Yes. Let's take a vote. All in favor of leaving the ice and Santa Claus issues in 2017, say aye.
Aye.
Listen. This is not what we go, but I'm gonna share this with you.
Wait. Y'all threw this off. I was looking for props for Cardi B. Bodak Yellow, smash.
Can we agree that it's time to leave Cardi B props in 2017?
No, it's not. Bodak Yellow, G-Eazy, Motorsport.
Which is not a record. She's on a feature.
It's all right.
She's on the features.
It's still her. She still made history. She made history. Cardi B was on Jimmy Fallon, man.
A lot of people have been on Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, come on. Give Cardi B her props. Now, she got the, what's the new joint? The Bardiac Cartier or whatever. And she got the new joint with Bruno Mars. I'm just saying, get a girl her props.
And she's doing very well. She's doing very well.
That's all I wanted.
She went from the pole. She went from dancing for 2 minutes and 47 seconds.
Come on, Lamont. Don't do that.
Come on, man. I thought we was,
Is that not true? Well, I'm confused. We're not telling the truth in this podcast anymore.
Did you not hear Oprah's speech last night? Come on, man. We're supposed to uplift black women in 2018.
Listen, let me tell you something about Oprah, and I'm going to tell you something about that Golden Globes.
Okay, well, wait right there. We got to go to a break first. We got to go to a break first. We go to a break. Stay right there. We come back. We talk about Oprah. Should she run for president? Would you vote for Oprah for president? Oprah 2020. Plus, we got to talk about the H&amp ad. We got a lot of stuff to talk about the Trump. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got that. What do we do in the new year? We always try to change our eating habits. We want to be better. We want to eat healthier. And we want to make sure that we put in the right things in our body. So we want to make sure that we're eating fresh food for 2018. No more frozen food. That's why we're sending you to Wendy's. Guess what? Wendy's is even gotten bigger on the 4 for $4. Now you got 8 choices instead of 4 choices. Yes, a junior bacon cheeseburger, a junior cheeseburger deluxe, a double stack, crispy chicken sandwich, a crispy chicken BLT, a grilled chicken wrap or a spicy chicken wrap. You can get all that with a 4-piece nugget, a small drink, and a fry. All at Wendy's. So head over to Wendy's, get yourself something fresh for lunch or dinner, or if you're just in the mood for a snack. So head over to Wendy's right now and get yourself a Wendy's 4 for $4 with 8 choices. Offer not valid in Alaska and Hawaii. Now, back to the show. Welcome back to 3 Black Guys with the Mic. Let's get into it. Oprah 2020. Lamont, you before we went to a break, you got a problem with Oprah?
What? Wait a minute. Before we even let him say anything, we need to go ahead and make this the daggone disclaimer. All right?
Yeah.
Oprah, we love you, Oprah, and we don't mean no harm.
Not at all.
Me and Spud are over here just trying to figure out how we can just keep our jobs and this little podcast.
That's it. We want to do the phone bank. If you run, we just want to do the phone bank.
That's right, Oprah. We are wherever you say. And so whatever Lamont happens to say, Oprah, don't. I don't even know him that well. I only met him like. Okay,
are we done? Are we done?
Yes.
Are we done with this boot licking? I mean, because it sounds like a lot of boot licking.
Whoa.
A lot of licking of Oprah's boots, bro. I'm confused.
Ooh, these boots are made for walking, man. These boots are made for walking.
Oprah, here's the thing that you need, look, girl, just give me a holler. If you can't reach me, call Deborah Blake, and then Deborah Blake can get in touch with me.
Wait. What was the Dave Chappelle episode where he knocked up Oprah?
When he got her pregnant?
Anyways, what's your problem with Oprah?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't have a problem with Oprah. What I said was I had a problem with the show. And here's what I felt like when I got done. And first and foremost, I am very sensitive, and I understand that not only in Hollywood, but in a lot of different sectors in this country, women have been put in very, bad positions of people who have harassed them, assaulted them. I get it. But on that show, I just felt like it was so anti-male that it almost made you feel like, even with some of the jokes, that if you were a man, that you were a bad person. And maybe I was alone in that assessment, but I felt that it was just so anti-male, so male bashing, not directly in the conversation or the jokes or even Oprah's speech, but it just sounded like everything was girl power, which is fine if this is what we're doing to combat some of these wrongs that have been made to certain women, not only in Hollywood, but again, in different sectors. But I just felt like, even the host, when he made a couple of jokes like, I know I'm a man and I apologize. And I'm like, so now we have to apologize for being a man? Is that what this is? So that's what I felt.
I don't think she said that.
I didn't just say her. Again, listen. Right. No, listen to what I said. I said the show overall,
right,
including some of the sentiments of what she said.
Well, let me say
that's what I felt.
Let me go back and say some things that she did say. She said Dennis Swanson took a chance on her for AM Chicago, giving her a start. Quincy Jones saw her and said, she's Sophia, put her in color purple.
Yes.
Okay. So at the very least, what she's acknowledging is that there were men who had the keys to the kingdom, and they opened it up for Oprah to create a queendom. Is that true? And then she said, at some point, she said, she's not speaking to all the men. She's talking to the tyrants and the victims and the secrets and the lies. She said, she wants to basically out those. She's not talking about all men. She's talking about some men, some people. I'm certain that some of the people that may have done some of this victimization are women. And at some point she says, and when that new day finally dawns, it's because of a lot of magnificent women. Many of you are here in this room tonight, and some pretty phenomenal men fighting hard to make sure that they become the leaders who take us to the time when nobody has to say me too again. So
let me ask you this. So let me ask you this a minute, really quick, because I want to, since you are dissecting her words. When she says that new day, what do you think she means?
I think she means
new day.
I think she means when men and women can go to the workplace and not have to feel harassed. And just because her particular
women can go to work and they can get paid equally.
Right. And just because their particular discussion is about sexual harassment and pay discrimination doesn't mean that protections won't come to us who are black men who are going to work and finding that we're earning less than our white male counterparts, or black men who are going to work and have to, going into a white office, an office full of, all white people, and have to stand around and hear these sideline jokes and cracks that are about race, but we have to play like, oh, ha, 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 ha. Or when they say, oh, that's just Bob, he just makes those kinds of jokes. It's no big deal, because black men, black women deal with these kinds of harassment issues as well.
Do you not have a response for that?
No, I still feel the same. I felt, and again, Maynard's focusing a lot on Oprah's speech again, which I thought was great. Shout out to Oprah and everything she has done and probably will continue to do. The president thing, I think she could be a little bit more effective in making change throughout the world outside of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. So I don't think that that's a good thing. But again, the award show as a whole made it seem to me that, it was very anti-male. And that's okay.
If Oprah stepped forward in mid 2019 and said that she's going to run, and here's your list of candidates. Here's your list of Democratic candidates. Oprah Winfrey, Joe Biden, maybe Bernie Sanders steps back into the fold, and Keith Ellison. Who are you going to take?
Cory Booker. You got to put Cory Booker in there.
Okay, Cory Booker and Kamala Harris.
No, you can't put Cory in there, because then that negates my argument of going for the black person.
So you only want to vote for the black person?
I mean, if you put Cory in there, I mean, honestly and truly,
gonna have a field day with you.
I set that up well, didn't I, player? But no. And you know what? She probably heard me before when I said I voted for Barack Obama because he was the black guy. So, I mean, what? Is that an issue?
No, I'm going to give you cover on that, because you voted for him because he was the black guy is just the same as somebody voting against him because he was the black guy. So
absolutely.
Because a lot of people out there wouldn't vote for him simply because he was black. Fortunately, a lot more people did vote for him because he was the best candidate.
So, Maynard, what about you? You think Oprah 2020?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm down for Oprah in 2020. I mean, let's put it like this. Anybody who can beat Trump right now is a plus. Let's start with that. And shout out to the boys with the number one show in late night, Diesel Samaro. Trumpito, he's a problem. So if Oprah can take him down, let's do that. I'm on the low. I love Joe Biden. That's my main number one dude. But I don't think we need Joe Biden in the White House.
Yeah, but who would Oprah run with? I mean, I like the Joe Biden Cory Booker ticket. I like that. I just don't know.
The problem with the Joe Biden ticket is like He'll be like 78 by the time he takes the White House. And that's not necessarily a disqualifier, but whoa, that's old. We want to have right now we got a president we already feel like he's mentally unstable. We don't need a president that's got, that quite possibly whose health could be an issue. Joe Biden is, the presidency puts a lot of wear and tear on you. Joe's not a young man.
Let me go back to Lamont real quick in regards to,
Oprah.
The anti-male thing. Because one of the biggest things that, they were talking about is the whole, the 50-50 by 2020 thing. And I appreciate that because the diversity needs to be there, in regards to everybody, right? So basically, they were saying this is Hollywood. 81% of board members in Hollywood are men. 94% of Hollywood film executives are white. 78% of parent media corporations senior leadership is male. 90% of film directors are men. 98% of film composers are men. 76% of writers across all platforms are men. So the industry is dominated by men. And I think this was a way for the Globes not the Globes, but for the movement to be able to say there needs to be diversity in Hollywood, and not only in Hollywood, but in America across the board. And this was a time for that to be, the Globes was the platform for that to be acknowledged. And you don't appreciate that?
Again, I'm cool with that, and I get it, and I understand it because, I'm not in the movie business, which is probably the large majority of the audience that watched that show. They're not in the.
I'm sure that the stats are the same.
No. But let's we wasn't at the Grammys. Let's focus on the Golden Globes, which is about movies, right? I didn't know that, so all I'm saying is what I'm doing when I'm watching that. It was there to me. The show is about celebrating these artistic visual pieces that come. You can't say the traditional movies anymore. You got to put Netflix in your online delivery services as well. But it was about the actors and it was about the movies. But I felt a lot of activism, which is cool. I get it. I'm not saying anything wrong with it. But as a spectator, as a fan, as someone who wanted to watch the people that, because of course I was rooting for Mary J. Blige, you know what I'm saying? Shout to Mary, because Mary was in the room and she was looking good. I said, man, this would be just great for me to be able to see Mary up on that stage. Just like last year when we saw, what's the boy's name? The FX Atlanta boy, the Childish Gambino. Yeah. Exactly. Glover. When we saw him up, Donald Glover, I'm sorry, I forgot who we were supposed to call him, is that moment that we saw last year catapulted him into a whole different space. I wasn't thinking about, okay, how many males are at FX, or do they have X amount of women that are on the staff? And I get it. I'm not saying that those are not valid points, but I'm saying as a consumer of being able to enjoy the show, it made me, without overthinking things, because I think that's another thing that we all do. That's such an issue that, we got to go. It's always about being deep. You know what I'm saying? Even going back with Cardi B, where I had to give in to somebody and say, you know what? For this 2 minutes and 43 seconds, I want to be mindless. I want to have no sense of pride or dignity. So I'm going to rock out with this Bodak Yellow. And then 3 minutes, I got 3 minutes in. I was like, okay, it's time for me to be like an adult again. So all I'm saying
Lamont,
again.
But Lamont,
what? What?
So this is what
I'm not backing up off of it.
Okay, fine. That's fine. But this is what I hear Lamont saying. I wanted to see this show. Why did we have to have this commentary about this thing that I don't even want to discuss? Which sounds a lot like when you say to someone who's not black, like, yo, maybe I wasn't a slave, but I suffered through racism, and I need to make that an issue today. And they say, you know what? Why do we have to hear that? Why don't you just let us have a good time today and don't worry about racism?
But you know what? That's inaccurate, Maynard. And again, this is just me. I think.
Hold on, my dude. I'm sorry.
What?
I don't want to get the year started off wrong. I was talking to Spud.
You know what? Let me go sit in my penalty box.
He did hit you. He did hit you with a little Deborah Blake right there, though. I mean, and that wasn't a joke, right? I mean, honestly, Deborah, that wasn't a joke. But I'm sure his point is like, look, Deborah's listening to our podcast, basically saying, we're over it. You guys stop talking about racism. Listen, we know we abused you guys for more than 400 years. We know that there's still, there's still systemic racism out there. We know that the police are, killing, young black men. We know that, when you guys go on Fox News that you are at the disadvantage and there are people out there who are going to call you guys out. But you know what? You guys don't talk about that stuff. Just shush about it. Because I just want to listen to your podcast in peace without you guys talking about the
tap
issues.
dancing. More tap dancing, more smiling.
Right.
More jazz hands.
Or you guys talk. I want you to talk about the issues of the world, but I don't want it to be made out to be an issue because you guys suffered from X, Y, and Z. And to Oprah's point.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
I'm almost done.
Okay.
Even to Oprah's point, what I thought was phenomenal about her speech, because I just thought it was a good speech. I don't think it was a 2020 speech. I don't think that she should be considering to run. I want Oprah to continue to, she just got a big check, for OWN. Continue to bring great programming to OWN, right? That's what I want you to do. I don't want to see Oprah figuring out, I don't want her to have beef with North Korea, right? I don't want to see Oprah and Putin fighting. I don't want to see that with Oprah. That's not my goals for Oprah. At any rate, but to Oprah's point, to all of the women who sat silently, who didn't get jobs, who were sexually harassed, who were made to sleep with men, to go up either the corporate ladder to get a role or whatever the case may be, and stood back and stood by and was silent all these years, yeah, this is a moment for you guys to actually stand up. And I think that is something to be celebrated rather than saying, oh, you know what, I just wanted to sit back and watch the awards and not have men be beat up. It's kind of like, when you and your wife are arguing and you just got to be like, you know what, let me just let her just say something and let me just be quiet. Because if I say something, it's only going to create a bigger issue. So I'm just going to be quiet and I'm going to let her have her moment and we're going to move on.
Okay, so let me ask you this, and I just want to make sure I'm clear. So since you all get all super sensitive about Oprah, right, and get your panties in a bunch, especially Maynard, let's just talk about you and your lovely wife. So just like you said, you get into an argument, right? And you just kind of let her have a moment or whatever it was. I mean,
and I love you, baby.
How does that?
You win all the fights around here. You win all the fights.
So how does that make you feel when you have to suppress your opinion? Because say she said that the hot sauce wasn't hot.
Man, are you answering this? I ain't getting into that.
So how does that work? I mean, how does that make you feel, Maynard? Or do you suppress your true feeling?
Listen, first of all, let's not mistake opinions from facts.
Oh.
So let's not mistake my opinions from facts. Look.
Okay.
The fact is this. Spud went down all the facts of how men are super served by Hollywood, by most industries around the country.
And I'm in agreement with that, but what you're saying or what I'm hearing is that no. So I'm not allowed to have an opinion then?
Okay, so let me say this.
Is that a yes or no?
No, you can have an opinion. Nobody cares. Have your opinion. Have your opinion. I got you.
But there's one person that cares. It's one person. At least one.
What I'm saying is this. When Oprah Winfrey gets an opportunity to stand on that stage, there are a lot of women, and let's be honest, there are a lot of women who could not get up there and say what Oprah Winfrey said. Not because they're incapable of it, but because when Oprah Winfrey stands up, she has the attention of the room. She's an important enough person that she has the attention of the room. Some people would have dismissed Oprah Winfrey or dismissed a lesser luminary, if you will, or someone who was not as important. So because the opportunities to stand up and say things on that stage, because just like you said, we're here to celebrate this film. Is that what you said, right? The art that we see on the screen, whether it's Netflix or the movies or whatever, right? That's what we're here to celebrate, right? But you absolutely cheered and took and got your little, you painted your toenails and everything when Childish Gambino stood up there and said, yo, the Migos and Bad and Bougie, that wasn't the film. He was winning for something else. So when people get an opportunity to take that stage, when the window opens and they hit the stage, sometimes this is either the first or the only time, and may very well be the last time, that the voices that those people represent will be heard. And so when it's somebody as important at this time as Oprah Winfrey, she said, my voice will carry on the challenges, the issues, the fights, the struggles that so many women who don't have my platform, I'm going to use this opportunity to make sure that I say these things. And that's important.
So what, and I agree, because I noticed that the conversation is about Oprah and her speech, which again, it actually was a very good history lesson, along with, some of the things that are going on present day, when she talked about, Sidney Poitier and she talked about the other historical things that happened. But as I said from the beginning, I was talking about the entire show. From the beginning, opening monologue to the end, it felt a certain anti-male. And that's all I was saying.
Well, I don't want to say it's anti-male. I think it is.
It felt like that a little bit. And again, that's just to me.
It's pro-women.
It's pro-women and anti-creepito.
Right.
No more creepies.
This, in my opinion, the Golden Globes was, let tonight be a statement that creepy men, powerful men, egotistical maniacs, and all the people who have the power and control, that we will no longer sit back and just allow for you to just take advantage of the industry. And
you know what though, Spud? Let me ask this question, because we didn't have this last year. We didn't have a problem like this in the three of us with this conversation last year, because Meryl Streep went a great deal to call Trump out, and in fact call him out about being a womanizing predator, etc. And he didn't have a problem. Lamont ain't had no problem with that. You think he's hating on Oprah?
Well, he also didn't have a problem when Harvey Weinstein first came out, neither.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's just Lamont. I heard you trying to make a right.
I'm trying to protect you from the Facebook, gang. I mean, because they be.
You know what? Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm about to get my agent on the phone, and
you gonna take Joe Budden's spot on the complex?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
if I continue to get this kind of rhetoric, this just roundabout, because and let's backpedal a little bit, because overall,
don't back.
no, maybe not backpedal, but let's back up a little bit. Do you think? Okay, let's talk about even the red carpet, right? When we talk about how which I saw some of the most incredible fashion, from all of the people with the different combinations of how they can make black, in the tuxedo or dress, right? So Maynard, you're smart, you know what I mean? Since you said I paint my toenails, why did everybody have on black?
Well, first let me say this.
What was that?
They said they're making a statement about predators, male predators in the industry.
Okay, so stop. Okay, now everybody had on those buttons, which was very, straight and to the point. What was the meaning behind the buttons that everybody was when it was time's up? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was that about?
They're no longer allowing men, let me basically say this: they're no longer allowing predatory behavior to continue to run the show.
Right, which unfortunately has been perpetuated by a lot of men in Hollywood, right?
Yeah, I guess the men did do that, huh?
Well, not just
no,
in
no.
Hollywood, though. Not just in Hollywood, just in the
No, no,
workplace, period.
But I got you. But I'm just willing to believe that a lot of the Hollywood actors and actresses last night were talking about the issues in their industry, which I get it. I understand it.
No. That's not accurate.
Okay, I'll take that. And we can talk about how they're trying to bring awareness to it on an overall scale. So what I'm saying is, if you take this year, just starting at the red carpet, before the awards started, that was not the same kind of energy that you had last year. Am I correct or no?
Well, no, it wasn't. But we didn't have the Harvey Weinstein. The Harvey Weinstein thing didn't break out last year.
And that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is that this year there was a heightened awareness, both in the dress, in the buttons, in the speeches, in the monologue, highlighting the issues that were perpetuated by certain creepy men. And I get it, because I'm not a creepy guy, so they're not talking about me or whatever, but I'm just saying I felt that the whole thing was about how we're going to highlight this particular issue. That's all.
Okay.
And that's what they did last night.
All right.
So how we turn this into, this is an Oprah hating speech, I'm just perplexed.
So you don't hate Oprah as much?
Well, first of all, me being a graduate of Tennessee State University, also Oprah being, an alumni of the same, university. I don't talk about this a lot, but I've met Oprah several times, down at TSU. I don't want to say like I know Oprah like that, but I know Gail like that, Uncle Stedman. Yeah, I'm name dropping. Now I got to boss up a little bit. This is 2018, but Uncle Stedman, what I'm saying? He's a G. I'm down with the Oprah thing. So all I'm saying again is I'm glad she got the.
He looked a little tired last night. He looked a little tired.
He getting that money, bro. He in these right circles still.
He still looked a little tired last night. He looked a little like, okay, come on, y'all.
Come on, y'all, back up, because y'all on hot topics right now.
So let's go to a break. Let's go to a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the H&M ad and a lot more. We got a lot more to discuss. This is the brand new episode, first episode of 2018. Stay right there. You're listening to Three Black Guys with the Mic. What do we do in the new year? We always try to change our eating habits. We want to be better, we want to eat healthier, and we want to make sure that we're putting the right things in our body. So we want to make sure that we're eating fresh food for 2018. No more frozen food. That's why we're sending you to Wendy's. Guess what? Wendy's is even gotten bigger on the 4 for $4. Now you got 8 choices instead of 4 choices. Yes, a junior bacon cheeseburger, a junior cheeseburger deluxe, a double stack, crispy chicken sandwich, a crispy chicken BLT, a grilled chicken wrap, or a spicy chicken wrap. You can get all that with a 4-piece nugget, a small drink, and a fry. All at Wendy's. So head over to Wendy's, get yourself something fresh for lunch or dinner, or if you're just in the mood for a snack. So head over to Wendy's right now and get yourself a Wendy's 4 for $4 with 8 choices. Offer not valid in Alaska and Hawaii. Now, back to the show. All right, let's get back into it, ladies and gentlemen. Before we, let me just ask this. What happened? What happened? So Dr. Umar Johnson went off on Tariq.
Spud. No, we're not going to do that. No, we're not.
I got it. No,
we're not.
What happened?
No, we are not.
Look, wait. I saw Dr. Umar, but it was freezing. So I saw him when he was on. He was on Instagram Live. Mm-hmm. And then I was watching it, but I didn't see it because it was froze on my phone. And then like 20 minutes later, I saw Tariq going off on, what's the name? What happened?
So
didn't we just say we wasn't gonna do this, man? Come on, man. Can we back out of this, please?
This is a big deal, Lamont. Come on, man. This is a big deal.
No, this is a big deal to who? To who?
Yo, the Black
America.
To all the
Did you say Black America?
Yeah, all the woke hoteps who keep jumping in my face talking about why am I eating swine. They need to hear about this. They need to know. They already know.
I gotta be thoroughly disappointed in both of them.
Well, let me say this.
Oh.
This is the backstory, so we can try to catch it up, and I'm gonna do it as quickly as possible. Dr. Umar Johnson from North Philly cat. That's important to recognize. He is this brother who's trying to start a school to educate young black boys and then ultimately young black children, and he has called himself the Prince of Pan-Africanism. I don't know exactly what that is. I'm not that smart. Anyhow, he has held himself out as some kind of leader in this black consciousness movement. And I've spoken with a lot of people in the movement here recently, and Umar has absorbed or has occupied a space where he is probably the most visible person in the black consciousness movement in 2017, last year. But back in August, he received a letter from the state of Pennsylvania saying, yo, we got some issues with your credentials. He's collected $700,000, $800,000 by way of GoFundMe to start his school. He says he needs $2 million to start the school, which is going to be a residential school somewhere where kids can live. Anyhow, so he was in the movie Hidden Figures that Tariq produced. He basically said, yo, I made the movie hot. And I ain't asked Tariq for no money. Tariq said, yo, you know what I'm saying? We supposed to be out here promoting the movement. You ain't supposed to get no money. And then back and forth, because these guys are kind of jockeying back and forth for the who's going to be the most important person in the movement. And it turns out that Umar's credentials are in question. The money is in question. Anyhow, sometime in late December, he eventually went to his hearing in the state of Pennsylvania about his credentials, or he filed his answers, I should say. And it looks like a lot of good questions are coming up on Umar's character. But the idea that these two cats were going on Instagram, dissing each other back and forth on a regular basis, using all kinds of foul language about one another and threatening bodily harm to each other, that's just not conscious. That's just not woke. That's all I got.
So Maynard, and I want to ask you a question, but I want to read a tweet from
the president.
Did we? No. Good God, no. Did we ever give our shout out to LL Cool J for his Kennedy Award?
Yes.
You kind of crapped on that, but that's all.
Stop. Okay, we just want to make sure we did. But LL Cool J said something. It had nothing to do with this subject, but it made me think about this. It's his tweet. He said that the internet has turned the world into one big high school. When I saw that guy, Tariq, on some of the stuff that he was saying as a grown man, I said to myself, like, oh my God, like his mother, I mean, and some of the words he was using, it wasn't even foul language, but it was just so juvenile, so adolescent, so it almost made my stomach hurt. And I was like, what I couldn't even figure. I said, turn this off because it just made my stomach hurt. So you used the word jockeying, and I think that was such a word that was a little bit too. It had too much substance of what I saw on the internet. Like these dudes was acting really like beyond like middle school kids, bro. And it was just like an embarrassment.
But this is the first time. This is the first time that Dr. Umar went off on somebody, right?
No, he went off on the brother Seti, who's actually a Detroiter. He went off on the brother Seti and went into a really dark space, talking about the kinds of, I mean, almost Ving Rhames. What was Ving Rhames' name in the Pulp Fiction movie? Marcellus something another.
Marcellus Wallace.
Yeah, Umar went into like, I'm about to get some pipe hitting brothers from the neighborhood to come see. He went deep on Seti. Like I was afraid. And I brought up the North Philly thing only because, growing up and knowing a lot of cats that have been like this, who have been part of this consciousness community thing, and always, talking about the mathematics, whether they were 5%ers or they were just in some other new space. A lot of times, and I'm not saying this about everyone. I'm saying this in a lot of ways. And this is a lot of Christians, a lot of all types of people. the minute that you cross a line with them, like you can't agree with them about something, it seems like the worst traits that they have seem to come out. And what I'm saying is, yo, the North Philly for sure came out of Umar with the situation between him and Seti and him and Tariq. Yo, it's scary. These cats really got into the situation where think of where we are in the rap industry, for instance, where somebody says something and somebody says something else, and all of a sudden, yo, these cats can't be in the same city without shots getting fired. I feel like we might be approaching that, except I think that Umar Johnson's career as being one of the leaders of the Black consciousness movement is officially over.
I hope not, man. I like Dr. Umar, regardless of his credentials or not. I mean, I like what he be talking about. I like Tariq, as well. It's really sad to see two of these guys go head to head. And I'm with Lamont. Like, to see Tariq mutilate Dr. Umar. I mean, he literally made him look like a clown. And I was like, wow. You would think that at that level that you would be trying to squash the beef. Oh, let me take you to a side. Let me take you. Oh, yo, my man, you need to come and holler at me. Yo, my fault. I didn't know what was going on. X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you would think that they would be trying to work it out, right? Like, you don't see any of this type of behavior between Malcolm and Martin. I mean, Malcolm got into Martin a little bit, but he didn't say,
I think of the time there was a moment where Malcolm had got after Martin and all of the Christian leaders and really dug in on them.
But not directly. He didn't go and he wasn't like out there like Martin Luther King is this, Martin Luther King is that, Martin Luther King. I mean, he was speaking to everybody as a whole.
Yeah, but it was like there was some subliminal diss. There was some subliminal diss.
Definitely some subliminal diss out there.
And it was and yo, Martin knew that. He was like, oh, he talking about me. Yeah. He talking about me. He talking about me. And he was in a hotel room somewhere with some female. It was like, bitch, I got to answer this damn call.
Listen, that was worse than Dr. Umar and Tariq right there. That was worse than that, Maynard.
Hey, yo, man. So
you need to take that back. You need to apologize to the King family.
Are y'all gonna kick me off the show because I hear the academics and complex have
I'm not kicking you off. I'm just saying you need to apologize for the King family. Seriously, he was up in a room with a female talking about need to take
whoa, but Spud, wait. But didn't J. Edgar? Doesn't he have tapes? I mean, that's not a secret. That's public information, bro.
Wait a minute, y'all.
Martin spoke secrets, right?
Like you didn't want to talk. Like you didn't want to talk about this, Lamont. We not about to out my man Martin like that.
We not outing him. That's been out.
I know it's been out.
Okay.
Just like there's some people out there who still believe that Santa Claus is real. There are some people out there who believe that Martin Luther King never was out there messing around on Coretta. Let's just leave it at that. Let's get into H&M.
All right. Hold on. Let me say this last thing then.
No.
I'm trying to clean it up. Listen.
No, because when you clean it up, you don't clean it up. You only make more of a mess of it.
Let me just finish my piece, and you'll be proud and pleased. Martin Luther King Jr. has been a hero for me all my life. And what I just said a moment ago was less than, it was truth. It was truth, but I didn't need to say it. And for those people who got offended by that.
So wait.
Listen to the tapes.
Maynard, you being a sucker right now, bro, because forget Spud, forget those people that have something to say about Martin, which is proven, because when it came to Oprah, it was all about the facts. So now we want to talk about Martin. We can't talk about the facts.
Black people can't rise up. And we rise up.
We got to talk about the facts, bro.
What's the facts, Lamont? The facts
Martin
are
had honeys, bro.
Martin Luther. The facts
Had some money, man. Out of all of the good that Martin Luther King did, but then you know what? To some people, Martin was more of a hindrance to the movement because he had an attitude of turn the other cheek, which some people at that time they didn't agree with that.
Not at the end,
so
though. Not at the end.
I'm sorry.
Not at the end. At the end, he was all about we need to get that paper.
Hey, but we don't have that conversation. His tagline is, we shall overcome and having a dream, not pick up a Uzi and take it to him. That's not his tagline.
I understand that, and I get it.
So all I'm
and that was a good tagline for him to turn to the other cheek. He didn't. I mean,
not necessarily.
Everybody
it was a good tagline.
Yeah.
Look, there's got to be multiple approaches. There are multiple ways to get there.
Yes.
That Pistons team was not, and I ain't talking about the Isaiah Thomas Pistons team. I'm talking about the Rip Hamilton, Benoit. That team won some championships not because they had an Isaiah Thomas. They were a great team. They were a good team. No superstars. That Bulls team was all about one superstar. Steph Curry and the Cats, they got their approach. LeBron James got his approach. There are different approaches to the throne. And you gotta let Martin, he saw his path and Malcolm saw his path, and both paths were going in the same direction, but from different places. Neither were wrong.
Speaking of LeBron James ousted H&M today for the coolest monkey sweatshirt featuring on a black child. Now, would this have been a problem if this would have been a white kid with the coolest monkey shirt? Why is this a problem? Because a black kid is wearing the coolest monkey shirt.
So you're saying, H&M, international retailer, had on their website already finished an image of a black boy wearing a sweatshirt that said "coolest monkey in the jungle," and you're saying that it's only because it was a black kid. Your question is if a white kid was wearing it and it was "coolest monkey in the jungle," that would you have
a problem with it? Would you have a problem with it if it was a white kid?
Yeah, I got a problem with it.
Tell me why.
We got to think when people
didn't H&M do the same thing on the white kid. They put like a tiger on him and nobody had an issue with it.
They had nobody had an issue with it, but white people have never been associated with tigers, like except for Charlie Sheen and his tiger blood. No one's ever been like, looked at a white person and be like, "You tiger," this is what I cannot understand is how are they that insensitive? Did we not just last year? Not many shows passed. That's what it is. The marketing department at all of these international companies that sell products need to subscribe to Three Black Guys with a Mic and get a couple of our episodes so they know.
Or you could just hire us as your marketing team.
Right. Or we can come in and do like a consultancy. Like we can sit down and tell some jokes and tell y'all what y'all shouldn't do. Like don't take a picture of a dark-skinned black child who probably he looks like he may very well be an African child and then put him in a sweatshirt that says he's the coolest monkey in the jungle. What the freak? Lamont, you quiet over there.
I mean, what you want me to chime in on your anger?
No, you know what? Yes, go ahead, chime in, sir, please.
No, but with your anger, you want me to chime in with that? Is that what you're waiting on?
Chime in with what you got, my dude.
Well, here's the first thing that I noticed is that particular advertisement was done in the UK. Okay, it was a UK version of H&M, that it wasn't in America. So what that tells me is that they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew that the black populace in the UK, probably would have went for that in comparison to the United States black population, because they kind of know we don't play that. So that's the first thing that I saw. Because again, if you look at the ad and you look at the price point, it's in a British pound. I said, oh, I see what this game is. Because you're right. I think in America, they probably would have had an ad agency or at least somebody in the room. But over in the UK, I really, have been told that their racism level is like on steroids. You know what I mean? So I think you're 100% correct. They're totally wrong. But again, this is just another example. You told me don't talk about the ice, but if you look at even at the little white kid is looking at the little black kid like, oh my God, what is this? And that could have been a Photoshop thing or whatever, but the look on the little white kid's face like, oh my God, they got this shirt on this young brother like that. I mean, so what do you say? I'm not an H&M fan anyway, because they don't have no X's in that store from what I understand. And I only thought they sold women's clothes. I'm a big fella. I shop with the big fella. So how about that?
But this is the problem. This is the problem. Not only was the ad offensive, the ad is offensive. The ad is freaking offensive.
No
the apology is even worse. Here's the apology. We sincerely apologize for offending people with this image of a printed hoodie top. The image has been removed from all online channels, and the product will not be for sale in the United States.
Maynard, see what I said? Maynard, did you hear what I said?
What the hell?
Did you hear what I said? Maynard, I didn't even know that was a statement, but did you?
I know.
In the United States.
In the United States.
I didn't, that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Listen, man, and you all can hate on me all you want, but, you can go to bed tonight and wake up tomorrow, and just, you got to understand that there is a thought process of us, and I forgot her name, Deborah Blake, whatever her name is that she has no idea, being an African-American or just an African English person or African person that lives in Australia. It's a different spin out here. I'm going to share this with y'all real quick. And it was about this thing today. So today I had to go to the bank. And I swear on my mama, the two people at the bank, two tellers, because nobody else was in there, were talking about this ad. One teller was a person who may have been Puerto Rican, Dominican of some sort, right? And she literally said she didn't see anything wrong with the ad. Maybe she was in her 20s, whatever it was. And I was boiling. And I had to make a little 30-cent withdrawal. So I needed my little 30 cents. I told her I needed all dimes. And I said, let me tell you something really quickly. I said, because I don't know how old you are, but be clear, you're in the United States of America. And at one point in time, you probably could have been taken from your mother's womb and put on a what they used to call a sex farm. And men would have sex with you daily until you became pregnant because they wanted you to bear slave children. There was a time in this country that, your parents, could be sitting at home having dinner, and a white male could come into your home, literally have sex with your mother and you, and take you both from your father, and you would know. I said no, but no, Maynard. These are true stories. Of course you do. But I had to explain to this person, this 20-something, I don't know if she's an X or Y. I don't know what they are anymore. I said, but you have no idea about the history of this country when it comes to the image of a black male, and this with him being considered a monkey. I said, you have no idea. And the girl looked at me with just this look of like she really didn't know. So I say that to say, Maynard, I hate, there are some people, they don't really know how bad this is. They don't. Sometimes because of age, because of ethnicity, because of whatever. But bro, the girl, she said, I don't see anything wrong with it. And she meant it. And I said, girl, give me my 30 cents so I get out of here before y'all call the police on me.
You're about to do something crazy up in there.
I don't know what it was. I just started stuttering and whatnot. Like, you don't see anything wrong with it. And I said, your ancestors are probably 2 steps away from, I don't know, cleaning the boat that my ancestors was on being in chains. You know what I'm saying? So it was wrong. But again, they're selling that shirt right now outside of the U.S. And I don't know if there's anything we could do about it. We could talk about the boycott. We could do all of that. But in the end, I don't know, how do we legislate behavior at H&M? How do we do that?
Don't go.
We got to just let people know straight out, man. I mean, H&M, that's a violation right there, homie. In all countries. Just because you ain't selling in the United States, you know what I'm saying? There's an episode of Everybody Hates Chris where Chris's dad is talking to Malvo. Malvo is the gangster. And he's like, yo, I don't care where you are. You say something to my son, when you watching TV, I'm going to come in the TV. When you at home, I'm going to come in your dreams. We need to be telling H&M, I don't care where you try to sell this shirt. England, Australia, France, Japan, we're going to be there protesting, telling the Japanese people, yo, you can't let that happen. The Japanese people going to not buy it. Then we're going to go to Mars. I don't care where y'all think y'all going to go. Y'all ain't going without us telling people how messed up this ad is and how insensitive this is.
Well, unfortunately, nothing's going to happen because, unfortunately, as much as I love my people, we're not going to do anything about it. It goes back to, the ad that Dan Gilbert put out in Detroit. Goes back to, the Pepsi ad with, Kendall Kardashian. It goes back to Walmart and Nigger Brown. I mean, I could go on and on and on. I mean,
I'm sorry, wait, man. Spud. Did you say Nigger Brown?
They did. You missed the thing when Walmart put out the skull cap or the wave cap or whatever, and they called it Nigger Brown on the website.
I just like you said the word Nigger Brown. I want to see how many more times we can say it. Maynard, can you give us a Nigger Brown?
I was very confused by why Walmart wanted to describe their wave cap as Nigger Brown.
I mean, I don't even get how.
But there's the color called Nigger Brown.
Yeah, I mean that's how it was described as Nigger Brown.
I mean, still, regardless if there's a color called Nigger Brown or not, I mean, come on, But again, we back shopping at Walmart. We back drinking Pepsi still.
I had a Pepsi this morning. It was great.
My point
oh, nice.
Exactly. My point exactly. And you know what?
Shaved
Black
ice.
folks gonna be back in, in H&M, trying to figure out if they can fit into their size or not. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a cactus this week for the first time in 2018. Somebody who has said something extremely stupid, and they got to choke on their words. Maynard, who is getting the first cactus of the year? Please tell me it's Donald Trump for calling himself a stable genius.
Well, we already know that Trump is an honorary Cactus Award winner, and he, in fact, he's always, at very least, runner-up for Cactus, if not the default Cactus recipient. And I really wanted to, until you stole my thunder, give the Cactus to the marketing department of H&M, but I think we have dragged them, as well as Black Twitter and Black Instagram has dragged them as well. I really, really wanted to give the Cactus to a bunch of people. But before I do that, shout out to The Weeknd, the artist The Weeknd, who in fact is where I actually learned of the H&M debacle, because he was supporting them, or he had an endorsement program with them, and he said, that's it. I'm not getting down with H&M anymore. This is unacceptable. Sent a check back. So I was like, yo, that's stand up right there. And I think when you do that, it shines a light on people who won't call out people who have done wrong, even if you weren't aware. Certainly The Weeknd was not aware that H&M was going to do this wild out craziness. But one of the people that we are celebrating here recently, a brother who jumped the broom and tied the knot with his lovely miss on, BET, Gucci Mane. I don't know. Is it Mane? Is it man? I'm not sure. The guy that we thought would probably help, sway the election for Doug Jones, did a collaboration some time ago with the boy Jake Paul. Jake Paul and Logan Paul, these are some Disney white boys. They were, and I'm not saying that there's some Disney white boys to be, crazy. They literally were on Disney at one point in the past. But they have fashioned themselves as rappers or as some kind of, fake wannabe Rob Dyrdek type dudes, kind of just doing whatever to get attention and have fun. At some point, Gucci and Jake Paul collab on a couple of songs. They've been dragged. Those songs have, by and large sucked. But Gucci was like, I'm going to get this check. Much like The Weeknd was going to get a check from H&M. The Weeknd, after discovering that H&M created the stupid ads, decided, yo, I'm distancing myself from you. Your check, I don't want, and I don't want you using my image anymore. But Jake Paul, who collabed with Gucci Mane, decided to drop a freestyle in which he uses the word nigger 3 times. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I've been warning y'all, I've been saying this, that by letting our guard down and not defending our culture, we are giving people the right to disrespect us. And here we are with a relatively no-name celebrity, if you will, a G-list, a H-list celebrity, who happens to have, I think, something like 8 million followers on all of his social media or more, drops a freestyle, and he's white. He's taking his little rap cred based off of dropping a collaboration with Gucci and cashing in on that. And now he feels like, yo, I got a pass. I did something with Gucci, and so I get to say nigger. Jake Paul. This of 2018, freaking punks. I had something else to say. I can't say that. But yo, you don't have a pass. And in fact, not that I happen to have control over this, but in any city where N-words happen to be, I bet you if someone pointed you out, you're not really safe. So you're best off taking this cactus and staying at home in Malibu or wherever the hell it is you live and being on the low. Cactus.
You know that they were saying that Will Smith was trying to be the next Jake Paul, by the way.
Will Smith was trying to be the next Jake Paul? If Will Smith woke up with Jake Paul's money, he'd kill himself. I mean, we talking about Will Smith, the God.
I don't know. I'm reading the article. It says, why is Will Smith trying to be the next Jake Paul?
Will Smith is Will Smith the God? Will Smith the God?
Will Smith the God?
Yeah, I mean, if Charlemagne is a god, Will Smith ain't. I mean, yo, Will Smith.
Wait. Those are two different things. Charlemagne the God is a name. You're adding the word God to Will Smith.
Right.
Yeah, but y'all were adding the word great to Charlemagne.
I wasn't.
Trying to figure that out.
I wasn't. The great Charlemagne the God. All right, we've talked too long. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for listening to our first episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic. We hope that you tune in for 2018. Thank you for 2018. Join us again next Tuesday right here for another new episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic. Make sure you go to our Facebook page, leave us a comment, leave us a like, share this with your friends on Facebook.
Deborah Blake. Share this, Deborah Blake.
If you like us or if you don't like us, if you agree with us or you don't agree with us, share it with the people. We growing this year, so make sure you share it. Go to our website at 3blackguyswiththemic.com. Check out the latest articles there, as well as everything else. Thank you so very much to Wendy's, and we out. And
we back, America. We back.